Hey everybody, Mike Jeffers, Chicago Music Revealed. I am here at the Gateway Lounge inside the Copernicus Center with the one and only Wayne Baker Brooks. He's going to be performing right here in the lounge. That's why we're doing it here and not in the big theater. July 17th, 7 p.m. are the doors, 8 p.m. is the show. He is going to kick off blues music in the lounge. We've been doing cabaret, Latin music, jazz. Geez, we've even done comedy, but we have not done blues. So who better to kick this off than Wayne? And Wayne, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in, and I'm glad we're talking about this because this is going to be a great night over here at the theater.
Thank you, man. Thank you for letting me be the first to kick it off, and actually this will be my first Chicago ticketed performance in about 2 years.
Isn't that, Wayne and I did a conversation. I interviewed him down at Buddy Guy's 2 years ago when he was on the main stage at the Chicago Blues Fest. And I think you did a City Winery show around that time.
Yep.
And then after that, you've been just touring and traveling, so you don't do a lot of stuff in town, so this is a great time for people to come and check it out. Very easy to get to, right off the Kennedy, 5216 West Lawrence Avenue, and I have parking for 110 cars outside for free. We are in the Twilight Zone, man. We are in the Twilight Zone in Chicago.
And in fact, this will be my very first show in Chicago with free parking. Yeah. In my whole career.
yeah, right? It's like amazing to me. But, let's talk a little bit. You've got so many things going on, but let's talk a little bit about the music and about what you have happening right now. Obviously, you and your brother continuing on your father's legacy, the great Lonnie Brooks. And when we talked back for the Blues Fest, we talked a lot about how when you guys were growing up, you're just around all these these legends of the blues and music in general.
Yeah.
And you just, you were young. You were just like, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. But now you look back and you're like, whoa, all these guys were there. But all that stuff had to rub off into your kind of like suck into your body, and it comes out now in your music.
Absolutely, man. Just when I, as a kid, yes, I remember, oh man, those are Dad's friends, and I had no clue that Luther Allison was on Motown Records at the time. Coco Taylor, the Queen of the Blues, being nominated. She was just at our house. And then now she's on TV speaking about being nominated for a Grammy. Oh, that's Dad's friends. But then when I look in retrospect, I grew up around people who changed music, forever. Like Buddy Guy, he was around during the heyday when music was just, being, changed at the time.
Yeah.
So. And Junior Wells and, B.B. King, I call him, Uncle B. Like, just knowing that these guys, were a part of my life, looking in retrospect, man, is huge to me. John Lee Hooker,
He used to come over and hang and
well,
stuff?
no, we toured with him a lot.
Okay.
So it's like, being at the road is the home,
Right.
We're on the road, And I'll never forget, man, and this is what keeps me so humble to this day until the day I die. I was in the middle of B.B. King on the left of me, John Lee Hooker on the right of me. And this was the B.B. King music tour, which toured around 30 to 35 cities.
Mm-hmm.
And the last stop, it was B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Eric Johnson, Coco Taylor, Junior Wells, Lonnie Brooks.
Jeez.
And I was guitar teching at the time. And every night I would be on the side, watching every note, listening to every note, listening to every nuance, the body language, the way they sing. I'm learning, I'm soaking all of this stuff up. So I'm in my spot when I'm done working every night. And Buddy Guy's on stage and B.B. King came and sat next to me, and we're talking. I was his joke master. I would give him jokes. He loved the jokes. Tell me that one again, little Lonnie. Yeah, that was funny. And so John Lee Hooker came and sat to the right of me. This is where I sit every night. this is the last night of the tour. John Lee Hooker, was in San Francisco, so he lived near San Francisco. And he came out just to hang. And Buddy was killing it, man. It was like about 25,000 people out there. And he's killing the solo. And he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. He broke it all the way down. He said, I want y'all to give it up for one of the greatest blues men in the world. And when he said that, the crowd went crazy. So John Lee Hooker did not hear Buddy say, give it up for John Lee Hooker.
Yeah.
And the crowd went even more crazy because they didn't expect him to be that.
Right.
So BB reaches over me and taps John, hey man, stand up, man. And John Lee go, B, you stand up. I'm in the middle of the two of the greatest that ever done it, man, ever existed.
Yeah.
And he, B, you stand up. And then B go, no, man, you stand up. And he go, and John Lee go, he stuttered. He go,
Yeah.
He said the greatest blues man in the world, that's you, B. And then BB go, no, you the greatest blues man in the world. Now stand up. And he stood up and gave that pose.
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd went even bananas, man. And here I am, why me? In the middle of two of the greatest, fighting about who is the best, but they're not fighting about themselves being the
Right.
best. He's giving it up to him, and he's giving it up to him.
Mm-hmm.
They both should have stood up.
Yeah.
But BB was like, no, you the greatest blues man in the world. You stand up.
Yeah.
And John Lee, he was like, all right,
Sounds good to me.
Man, that was the most profound
Yeah.
experience I ever had with any of my dad's friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the fact that you're just soaking this up. I mean, it's like, but that kind of goes
Every
back to
night.
what we were talking about a little bit when we were doing the Buddy Guy interview over at Buddy Guy's, is that these guys were, I mean, you were around them. It wasn't like you were starstruck. You were just like, oh yeah, okay, these guys are fighting, whatever,
Yeah.
and you're probably sitting there. Now you go back and look and it's like, geez, man,
Yeah.
you can really go back and remember that
Yeah.
stuff and
Yeah.
analyze it a little more. But
Yeah.
you're on a 35-city tour, you're just like these guys, man. Was somebody stand up already, will you?
Yeah, no, man, that's what made them great.
Yeah.
It's not all about me, I. Those type of people don't go in the category of being great.
Yeah.
They're just here for the day because they feel like they're the best, and until the best come around.
Isn't that something though? And that's something I've noticed, that when I'm around like heavy duty players, that are just like, they can walk in, they're just smoking. Herbie Hancock, great
Yeah.
example of somebody I've talked to, and he's just normal, man. He's just walking around just like, yeah, no problem. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm Herbie Hancock, you're Mike, whatever, And those guys that are really, really top level are usually the nicest guys,
Yeah.
and because they're so confident in what they're doing, they're just having a good
Absolutely.
time. They're just like,
Man, one of the greatest compliments I ever got was from George Benson. George Benson had walked into Buddy Guy's Legends while I was jamming. I would go to the jams every Monday, because when we toured, sometimes I never got a chance to play on the tour.
right.
So I would take all that frustration out at the jam, and we would literally turn it out. And man, just so happened, soon as I started the first song, George Benson walks in, and I'm like, oh no, this can't be true. No, not now, man. I'm not ready for this, And I, at one point, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do me.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got off the stage, he came towards me. He was like, man, you playing that guitar like you working a real gig, man. I was like, man, because of you,
Yeah.
you such an influence and an inspiration. I'm trying to get it like you and my dad and his friends,
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's great, man. And I asked him for his autograph. We took pictures, and he said, great playing.
Yeah.
I still got it to
Do
this
you?
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, frame.
Yeah.
Great playing, baby. Keep going. And he invited me to his show 2 nights, and then I ain't see him again for a while until we played the North Sea Jazz Festival.
Yep.
And you know, I was outside. We just got done, and so I was outside, and a limo, Mercedes Benz pulled up, and I'm like, man, who is this? And George Benson walked out of the limo, man, and he looked at me, and he saw. We ain't seen each other since,
Yeah.
like, and that was like 3-4 years maybe.
Yeah.
And he go, hey man, you made it here, huh? I knew you would make it here someday. Just like that. I was like, whoa, he did it again. He did it again. You know, that type of stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and
means a lot.
that's what you bring with your music and with your performances, and that's July 17th. People are going to be able to see this. You know, all this history that Wayne has been around for years. Also, he's written tons of tunes. He's got tons of albums out. He tours all over the place, and being able to see you play like authentic, serious blues playing here at the Gateway Lounge, July 17th. I mean, that's going to be something that night.
We're gonna pitch a wang dang doodle, not a wang, but a wang,
A wang
dang doodle.
You know, so talk a little bit about the Cubs connection now too. You know, that's the other thing. Wayne's touring and stuff, but he's also got this great connection with the Cubs, and the Cubs have really taken the Chicago blues scene under their wing and brought it into the Cubs brand in the past couple of years, which is incredible.
Which is very incredible, man. They're the first organization in Chicago that brought this type of awareness to the Chicago blues community by incorporating, you know, a uniform in their games, which is the Chicago Blues alternate uniform.
And that was like a throwback uniform from the 40s or something?
Yeah, from the
Is that what it is?
40s,
Yeah.
from the powder blue color. The MLB approved the color back in, I want to say 1943 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And around the same time, Muddy Waters electrified the Chicago Blues.
So that's right around that same time that came out.
So they incorporated, you know, the whole two entities together with this uniform, which is great because I'm part influence and inspiration because I went to them to, you know, with hopes to throw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
hey, you know, I'm doing the Chicago Blues Fest. You know, I've gotten all the TV exposure. You know, I want to try something different. So I went there, met up with a buddy of mine, and he's like, yeah, man, you know, that's a great idea. Let me try. And, you know, he said, I'm a boss, but I got a boss too.
Right.
So he said, I got to pitch it to her, and he pitched it to her. And she examined, you know, everything. She went to my website, Jen Martindale, at the Cubs. And he goes, so what do you think? And she was like, oh, he's cool. I like him. You know, it's great and everything. But he can't throw out the first pitch. And then he goes, why? You know?
Yeah.
And she goes, because you guys are not thinking big enough. Just like that. And when he told me that, I was like, whoa. He's like, come up and meet up,
Yeah.
you know, at the office. And we're going to, like, you know, lay this out and launch something, man. You're going to love it. And the thing that I expressed to them that's very dear and important to me is that we honor the past, the present, and the future. So that's big for me because I'm very passionate about preserving, you know, my dad's legacy, the Chicago Blues legacy, and trailblaze my own legacy. And all of those fit, you know, in the, you know, the past, the present, and the future. And
Sort of like what the Cubs do just with the Cubs.
absolutely,
You know, so it like exactly what you're thinking about.
absolutely. So it was a match made in heaven with the Cubs and the Chicago Blues community. And they're the only team that probably could have done it because we share the same colors, blue. You know, blues.
Yeah.
You know, the word blue. So it's a match made in heaven, man. We've done all kind of like, I threw out the first pitch when we first launched April 5th opening weekend. So they call them Blues Day Fridays. But we did it on a Saturday because it was April 5th, and I do believe April 5th was the day that they approved the powder blue.
Oh, okay.
And so being a part of that, man, is
well, and you've sung the seventh inning stretch now. You're singing the national anthem.
I am the only blues artist. I could say blues artist. I might be the only celebrity to have thrown out the first pitch, sang the seventh inning stretch, and did the national anthem in all of 150 years at Wrigley Field. And I'm very proud and honored to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, and they're also doing things in Gallagher Way. So this is all stuff that everybody should check out, not just for Wayne, just in general, because they have live music in Gallagher Way. So they're featuring blues artists there. Last year they had like a record store that they had going on. So I'm sure they're doing different pop-ups and everything.
We had Buddy throw out the first pitch, Buddy Guy. We've had Billy Branch throw out the first pitch. We've had a host of, like the Delmark All-Stars. So it's a wide range of artists, from the big names to the small names. That
they're really pulling in the whole blues community.
That get a fortunate spot, man, because some of these, like, throwing out the first pitch and the seventh inning stretch, and those are for like celebrities.
Yeah.
So that's a good spot for all the blues artists that are part of it, John Primer,
well, all those spots usually are celebrity.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Vedder. I mean, all those guys, Chris Chelios. All those characters.
Yeah, man. So us being a part of that, which rarely we get that opportunity, being a part of that is very,
well, and to
very cool.
What you and I talked about off camera too was that it opens up a whole other audience to the blues music.
Absolutely.
And I love that because, I mean, and that crossover thing, because when you talk to sports people and athletes and things, they love music. And when you talk to blues musicians, jazz musicians, everybody else, they watch the sports stuff. So it's like, put it all together and, you got something really happening.
For a while, I thought I was the light-skinned Michael Jordan.
That's a different interview.
I thought I was the light-skinned Michael Jordan, man, for real. And, I played, football.
Sure, yeah.
Baseball, basketball, but after being a musician, I quit playing that, so I watched the pros do it. And
well, you follow it. I mean, I follow everything, man. It's like I'm on it all the time,
all the
even though I'm playing and doing all these other things.
Newspaper from the back.
Oh, there you go. See, there you go.
Yep.
So, all right. So, July 17th, you are going to be here on this stage, and of course, I always tell everybody it's 5216 West Lawrence Avenue, inside the Copernicus Center, the Gateway Lounge. We've got the Gateway Theater from 1930, and then the lounge right next to it. It's about 30, 40 years old. It's beautiful. It's got brick. It's got a great sound in here. We can hold about 250 people in here if we want to do it that way. Free parking inside the Copernicus Center, owned by the Copernicus Foundation, which is a Polish-based organization which supports all different arts, entertainment, and cultural experiences throughout the Chicagoland area. So I always say every time you buy a ticket to the show, you give a little back to the foundation. And of course, we're going to see Wayne over here, and I'm hoping to have him back quarterly or something so we can get something really happening and build it into the theater too. So lots of big plans happening. Wayne, thanks for being here. Of course, WayneBakerBrooks.com. We'll link all that stuff up down below too. But thanks for being here. I am looking forward to July 17th.
Yeah, I can't wait too, man. We're going to give them some, we're going to take them on a musical journey.
That's it.
We're going to take them on a musical journey, and we're going to give them some Chicago traditional Chicago blues, fiery Chicago blues. We're going to give them some contemporary blues, and we're going to give them some original blues rock.
And we're going to have a good time.
Yep. And have fun doing it.
That's it. That's it. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. As I always say, all the information's on bluesinchicago.com, chicagojazz.com, and until next time, hopefully I will see somebody out on the scene.